Have you ever wondered how two-step stamping works? I'll show you how to layer 2 stamps to create one detailed image, using full strength and then stamped off ink to add depth. Hi, I'm Angela Palmer from Stamp with Angela. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Auckland, New Zealand. And I share simple card making ideas and practical tips to help you create with confidence. Today, I'm going to be I'll be making 2 floral cards while looking at how to do 2-step stamping. So I'll give you some tips and ideas and inspiration to help you with this. Maybe you've tried it before, maybe you haven't, but hopefully you'll learn some tips and ideas along the way. So let's get started and I'll show you what we're going to be using today. All right, here we go. So do let me know if all is okay with sound and everything. Looks like it's all good, and we're on Facebook and YouTube today, which is awesome. Hi, Linda. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for being here. It's awesome to have you joining us, and welcome to anyone else that is joining us today, whether you are joining live or watching the recording. I appreciate you being here. So I'm not sure if you've seen this particular stamp set before, Begonia Belle. This is actually the product of the month for July. And I got this a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have a chance to play with it, but when I did, I had lots of fun, and I really like the 2-step stamping technique. So you may be wondering, well, what is 2-step stamping? So basically what it is we've got 2 separate images, like these 2 flowers here, and you use both of them to complete one image. So we've got it here for the flower, and then we've got it also there for the leaf. So sometimes kind of on their own, they may look a little bit unusual, but put them together and looks really good. It adds some detail, definition, a bit of color contrast. So you can't achieve that with one stamp, but by doing the 2 steps, it allows that really effective look for, in this case, the flower and then the leaves. Now, sometimes people like to stamp, and they'll stamp in 2 different colors, kind of, you know, a darker pink, lighter pink, that kind of thing, which you can do, but you've got to decide which colors you want to use. Or you can just use one ink pad, which is what I'm going to do today, to create the color contrast. So I'm going to show you 2 cards that I've made, and then we're going to create them. So this one here, I've used Strawberry Slush and then Granny Apple Green. And I've put it on this layout here. And for this one here, I have used Crushed Curry. So even though it looks like there's 2 pinks and 2 tones of yellows, it's only one color, but with the stamping off. Now what I thought I'd do is I'm going to do this layout with a yellow flower and then this layout with the pink flower, so we've got a little bit of contrast. So let me know what you think. Right, I'm just going to have a look and make sure we're all good. No echoing, yay. Try and check a million things before I start, and hopefully it's all good. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you the 2-step stamping. So this is the stamp set, which is really cool because you get both images and sentiments. And this is the product of the month for July. So although it's coming towards the end of July, it might still be available for a little bit longer, you know, while stocks last. But if you do like it, if you place a $150 order, then you can buy it for just $11. So it's a really good deal. Right, we're going to get that one. The other one piece felt like thick cardstock. Okay, so I've got my 2 stamps here, and you can probably see here, this one's got a bit more detail. So this is stamp 1, and this one here is stamp 2. And I've actually labeled which way up they go and which order, particularly useful if you've got a class. This one is kind of quite obvious which way it goes up, but sometimes with an image, it's a little bit hard to see, and people might kind of do it upside down. So you can write top or do an arrow on it or something like that to show you which way it's going to go. All right, so I'm going to do the crushed curry to start with. So let me just show you the stamping off. So if I do full strength, so I've got a paper piercing mat underneath to show you just stamps better. So that's its full strength. If I go straight away onto stamping off, that's how much lighter it is. Okay, just so you can see the difference. Now, what I would do is this one is full strength, and then the next one, so we get a lighter contrast, I'm going to stamp that off. I'll just stamp it up here. And then I'm going to go over the top. And what I want to do is kind of line up these parts here. So I'll actually leave that. That's kind of my sample one. So you can see the difference between when it's stamped and then stamped off. And I'll show you the leaves too. The leaves, I find looking at them, oops, we've got something there, are a little bit harder to see which is which. You can definitely see there. So again, I have labeled them. I don't know if you can kind of see when you look at them. They look quite similar. So let's get our green now, and I'll just show you the difference between full strength and... So that's what it would be, full strength, and that's stamped off. So you can see it's just a lighter shade. But when we stamp off, we'll be using the second stamp. But just so you can see the contrast in colour. All right, so let's make our first card. So I'm going to get a piece to stamp on. So what I did with the first one is I have fussy cut it out. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do it like that layout, but yellow. So we're going to do stamp number 1. Have a bit of a gap because it will go over the edge. Now we're going to come in with stamp number 2. I'm going to stamp off and now line up. So I'm sort of particularly around there, and then just sort of look at the edging and stuff and sort of see where it goes. I'm not going to lift it too quickly. You might have to just adjust it slightly. Press it down, let that ink. Now can you see the 2 different tones of colour? That's what it looks like. Then we also need a leaf. We need 2 leaves. So I'm going to come in with Granny Apple Green with number 1 first. Let's do it down the bottom. 1. Everyone goes for the middle, so I'm going to go around the edge where it might be a bit darker. See, that is a bit dark. I actually might do a 3rd one. All right. Then we're coming in with stamp 2. We're going to stamp off. Don't press it too hard when you're stamping off because we do want some colour. But can you see the difference between these 2? This has got that extra sort of bit of shading in it. That one doesn't. Stamp off just lightly, quickly, and then line. Again, you just need to adjust it, line it up, but hold this time longer so you get that colour coming through. All right, how's that? So has anybody else tried this? Either 2-step stamping or this particular set? It is a good one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is fussy cut these all out. So I want to keep my scissors still and just quickly cut around the edge. I'm going fairly close because I don't really want a white edge. So we're going to cut our flower out. Can't quite work out where that one goes, but we'll go just it like that. So keep our scissors still and just moving the cardstock around. So there are a couple of white patches in the stamp. That's the way it's kind of designed to give that sort of contrast. But if you have a look, you can see the darker against the light, and it looks quite cool. Right, now I've got my leaves to cut out. So it doesn't take too long to fussy cut. I know some people like to fussy cut and some don't. Tell me what you like to do or not. Do you mind fussy cutting? I know I did a live a few weeks ago and I asked about fussy cutting then too. I cannot remember what it was I stamped at the time, but there we go. So nice and quick. And I played around with the different shapes of what to put behind. I had something else first, but it felt a bit too sort of busy. So I went with that. I also wondered about embossing, dry embossing the background with a bit of texture. But then if it was white, I felt it was going to be a little bit too kind of, stark and things. And I didn't know what colour to use. I guess I could have done a light pink or something, would be quite nice. But in the end, I decided to use the paper. So if you're wondering what paper this is from, it is from the Violet Dreams. And you might also be wondering, where is the oval from? And that's also from the Violet Dreams. So the frame violets, actually. I think Violet Dreams is the paper. So this is the stamp set, and these are the framed violet dies. So I've used these 2 dies here, and I've cut out these shapes. So for those who came to Extravaganza, we used this set in particular, this stamp, with our card, which was nice. And the paper that coordinates with this is it's beautiful. I'm going to move this away because I might get ink on it otherwise. The lovely fuller pattern ones I've already pretty much used up already. So there's one like this, which is very cool, except that's upside down. And there's one like this, which I've used quite a bit. So you'll see that's the stripe pattern, except it's going the other way. Didn't think about that. It's just whatever happened to be left over. And then these, again, I've got lots of patterns upside down here. The purple and things. And then the other side are more, you've got your Secret C, your green. And you might have noticed these. So these are like die cuts that you push out, and then you've got shapes like this ready to go, which are quite cool as well. So there's 2 sheets of those. So these are the papers I have used on the background. All right. So what I'm going to do is basically put this together and put that on the card front. So I'm using Secret C. I thought, do I go for strawberry slush and things? But I just felt it was a bit too much pink. So because I'm going with the yellow one, I'm going to use, I feel this color looks better with this. So we're going to put that together. And on this card, I actually stamped another flower on the inside. So you can do that too. So let me find my glue. And you'll see this comes together relatively quickly. Obviously, I've done the die cut of the oval before, just to save time, but that doesn't actually take too long. So we've got there. We're going to put this onto here. Okay. All right. Then I put this on dimensionals. So we ideally want big dimensionals, which are here. So I'm just going to put like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the middle. And with my flower, I'm also going to put 2, but only in the middle so that I can kind of tuck my leaves under where I want. Then they won't hit anything, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let me find my tool. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's line that up. Try and get that sort of about right. And then just sort of work out for space. I want a little bit of space at the bottom so I can fit my sentiment. So the card base, in case you didn't realize, is Secret C. One of the colors I use heaps and heaps of. It is quite good for a card base because it's not black. So it's not quite as dark as a black, which is good. Then I'm just going to put these flat. So I'm going to put a bit of green glue on them and then just sort of tuck them in like so. Whoops, that one can't really go in anymore because it's hitting a dimensional. So we'll just have to go with that. Whoops. Like so. Our sentiment, so you've got a few different sentiments. Some of them are long and thin, some of them are different. So if depending on size would be how you fit them all on. I'm just going to go for a little best wishes because that's quite universal. And since I'm using Secret C as my card base, I'm going to use Secret C to stamp it as well. So I've got Secret C here. And I did find the first time I went to stamp it, it was a little bit kind of like you could easily put it on and it would be bent. So the best thing to do is put it down. Hope it doesn't stick to my fingers. Then put your block on and then stamp like so. Actually, while we're here, let's just stamp 2, one for the other card. That one feels a little bit wider. Might as well stamp 2 at once. There we go, great. And then what I did was, bring our card back, I angled the sides ever so slightly. like so. And I put a bit of tape on the back. Seal is good. And some twine. Now you don't even need to tie this one. So I just wrapped it around 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, it's sticking to me. Grab my ribbon scissors, except it doesn't take the cover off. Trim that. All right, so I've got one end up here, one down there, and let's get up the right way. I'm angling it to the left because when I flip it over, it will angle to the right, which I tend to favor. Then I'm going to use a couple of mini glue dots, not glue dots, dimensionals, and put one either side. I try not to put it on ribbon or twine because then it tends to pull it up a bit. And then put that like so. I want a bit of a gap because I want embellishment at the bottom, but like that. There we go. Now for this one, I've got strawberry slush flower. I use strawberry slush in colour dots. For this one, I don't know if you can tell, I actually used the Darling Duckling, even though that's crushed curry. But afterwards, I found some Secret Sea ones. So I thought we'd try the Secret Sea on this one, which will be quite nice. So we'll do 2 up here. Pretty sure they're Secret Sea, and we might use a little one because there's not a lot of space. 3 are good. Something like that. Maybe I should have angled it the other way. Anyway, you get the idea. So that is the yellow one. Maybe we could have done the flower a little bit higher. So that is fussy cutting. So I've just used 1 flower and 2 leaves. But see how quickly that came together? So just choose your colours. Like I've only kept to 2 colours here, strawberry slush and then the crushed curry. But you could have fun with purples or, you know, whatever colours you like. All right. Now for the next card. So any questions about that? So I see for Joanne, she said that she also tried the stamp set for the first time and it's become, yeah, her favourite. So easy to use, and it is a gorgeous image. And I saw on our team page, Joanne, you shared lots of photos of all your flowers. So I'm glad you're having fun with it too. All right, so let's do the next one. So now I've got to remember we're going to do the opposite colour and we're going to do pink on this. So I need to clean my stamps first. Can use my stamping scrub, or I've got my chamois here. It's not very purple anymore, very dark, even though I do rinse it out. Just the staining of it, I guess. Okay, there we go. Clean stamps, particularly if you were going to use yellow next. You don't want, you know, pink in your yellow ink pad, as it were. Or just a bit around the edges. Okay, so for this one, I could have done it up slightly more. So we're going to stamp our main image first, which is our flower, and we're going to use strawberry slush, which is one of the ink colours from last year. Stamp number 1. So I'm going to sort of have my sentiment there. So not right at the top because it will go a little bit higher. Now I've got ink there, so I'm going to be very careful not to rock it. I'm going to do it slightly on an angle. So that's full strength. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to come in and stamp off, take out some of that colour. Again, kind of matching around there, checking where it is at the top. And this one's actually with the pink quite easy to see because it's a bit brighter than the yellow. Look at that. So you can see it's not quite, oh no, that had a bit of a gap too actually, so that's fine. So in this one, I haven't got quite so much of a white gap there, but I have there. But are people really going to know? I mean, you could sort of go back over it and bring it down a little bit if you wanted to. I don't really want to mess it up, but that's fine. So you're thinking, well, how am I going to stamp my leaves without, you know, interfering with this? So you're going to use a mask. And I have done this before as well. So we've got some Stampin' Up masking paper that you can use, or you could use a Post-it note. The good thing with this is it's the whole piece, whereas a Post-it note is only slightly sticky in one part. So you get your Post-it, your masking paper. I'll just get some out so you can see. And don't make the mistake I did. So there's this side, which is, you know, this one is very shiny, and don't stamp on that because then it won't work. You need to stamp on this side. All right, so we're going to stamp, you're going to stamp your flower exactly like you did before, and then you're going to fussy cut it out. And I think I've got one that I prepared earlier. Or I've got one that I used earlier. Have I got a fresh, clean one? Can't find one. So here we go. What's this? Yes, so here's one that I have stamped and cut out. Now, because of the lining up, it may be a fraction different to the one you've got there, but it's pretty close. So kind of look at which way it's angled, and you're going to put it on top. So first of all, the challenge is taking the back off. And if I can't, I'll use the one I've already used. This is when you need good nails. So it's starting to come. It's starting to peel. Any tips on this? I suppose I could use... there we go. Now, it is quite sticky, and I don't want it to stick too much and rip. So I would put it on my... I'm just going to put it on my skirt and a couple of times. I'm going to put it on... I won't... That's... we'll do it. Can you see that? So it's not... It's still sticky, but not quite as sticky. So it'll come off a bit more easily. So then we're going to line it up. So you really want to pretty much be as exact as you can. Okay. Then we're going to come in with our leaves. I'm going to do the one on the right first. So I'm going to do all the first layers first. And we'll do it a little bit high because we need room for a sentiment. So that's the first one. I know it looks strange, but don't panic. Like so. All right. Then we'll come in with stamp number 2, but remembering to stamp off. This is easier to line up because it's just more straightforward. Easier to see through. Not all different bits here and there. So don't be in a hurry to lift it off too quickly. Give it a chance for the ink to touch the paper. So this is what we call second, either second generation or stamping off, by stamping it somewhere else to make it lighter and then stamping on the image. And of course, we're also masking. So you may think, well, that doesn't quite look right. I think we did it with the Opulent Oasis Big Flower. So now I want to carefully peel this. And if I'm careful, I can reuse it for something else. Look at that. Now does it look like the leaves are behind the flower? And so keep this safe. You can use it a few more times yet, which is quite good. And then basically what I've done is I've put it on a border and then stripes. Now I'm actually thinking, I've got my pre-cut piece, but I wonder if I want stripes the other way. Let's have a look. So we're going to put that onto here. So this piece was, I think, 7 centimeters by 11. And so this is 7.5 by 11. And that just frames it and makes it pop. So with this card, I haven't needed to use any dies. So with the first card, obviously you needed a die shape to use, but you could also do a rectangle if you don't and still cut it out and things. It would be fine. Like so. Right, I'm going to have a look at my pattern paper and then decide, because do I want that way or the way it already cut? Let's see. Oh, this is straight up and down. Maybe we'll just go with what it is. I think that looks okay. All right. So I appreciate everyone that's joining me today. Thank you. It's good to have you here, whether you're watching live or the replay. And hopefully you're learning a few tips and things to do with two-step stamping and also stamping off. All right, so this time we've got our lines going down. We use our dimensionals again. I like to do the 4 corners and then also the middle, just so it doesn't sag. And my take your pick tool to remove the backs off. There we go. Whoops, we don't want to put it on upside down, that's for sure. Trying to get it straight. Then we just need to finish it off with our sentiment and our twine as well. So I'm going to do what I did before and angle it like so. Is that doesn't look quite straight? Does it look slightly angled? Looks like it's coming. I'm going to leave it for now. I'll adjust it later if I need to. Alrighty. Where is my tape? So we're going to move that out the way. So do you like two-step stamping? Have you got many stamps that require that? It looks really effective the way it adds dimension to your cards. And just that color contrast is good as well. So I've wound that around my fingers twice. Which way? So best wishes like so. That's up the right way. And then I'm going to angle it. So just going to squeeze it all together. Stick it down on there to the left. And then it will be going to the right. I'm going to pull that one down a little bit more. And some little dimensionals to put it together. And then we need to just finish. Oh, we've got a few there with our embellishments. Always nice to finish it off. Obviously, you could do a card and you could keep it simple with just ink, Stampin' papers. But I do like adding a little bit of bling or twine to it as well. So we're going to just pop that down there. So what do you like better? Do you like the fussy cutting? Do you like the look of it when it's fussy cut? Or do you like the look when it's been masked and stamped behind? I'd love to know what you like. Embellishments. So we're going to use our strawberry slush. And pop 1, 2 up here. Oops, where did it go? Here. 1, 2, and then one middle size one just down here. Look at that. Very good. All right, so here's all our cards. Let's just do it that way, then they might fit a bit better. So we have used crushed curry for these ones, and all the leaves are granny apple green. For our flower, we've used strawberry slush. So do you like the idea of fussy cutting it out, or masking it? So the thing with masking is it's more like one layer, it's all flat, whereas this is obviously slightly more layered and that kind of thing. But yeah, lots of possibilities with this. Now I've only used one flower on the card. You could stamp a row of flowers, you can do all sorts of things. And then I've used it, the paper I've used in the background is that Violet Dreams, which is in the online exclusive, which is very cool as well. So I'd love to know what you like and yeah, which method you like doing. So I'm not sure if you're on my mailing list, you might have heard that my son, who's 21, is graduating from university, from AUT today. So very shortly after this, good timing for my live, I managed to finish my live. I'll be heading out to see his graduation, which is very cool. And then tomorrow I'm off to Christchurch. So we've got a demonstrator event down there. So that will be lots of fun. So I see Sheila asking Joanne about that. And Sheila, I get to see you in person, which will be awesome. So appreciate you watching these lives. And we're going to meet up tomorrow on Saturday for this event. Now, I need to let you know of a couple of other things that are happening at the moment. So something that is happening right now until the 10th of August is our 25% off the Paper Pumpkin kit. So Paper Pumpkin is when you get a kit in the mail, in a box like this, with a stamp set, with cards, everything inside. This was the month before. And you can just make the cards as you do. And I tend to feature them each month, showing the cards that are in the kit and other ways of using some of the supplies or stamps or dies or whatever as well. So there's dies that you can get as an extra. But if you haven't subscribed before and you've been wondering, now's a good time, because as a new subscriber, if you go sign up for pay as you go, paying each month, you'll get 25% off. It's usually $56 down to $42 with the discount. So why not give it a go and see what you think? I love getting mine. And I'm actually going to take my box with me, not this one, the other one, and finish off some of the cards at our event because we get a little bit of time to craft. I can't take a lot with me, but it's all in the box, ready to go. So that's one good thing about these. You can put it in a box. Well, it is in a box. You just grab the box and away you go. Now, the other thing is paper. So I have mentioned this before. These are the different papers from our May to August catalogue. If you like getting a sample of all of them, I've got 2 of these shears left, already cut, ready to go. And they're a great way to get a variety of papers, and you get to see them all. That's 82 plus either pick up or I can post it to you. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. And then the other one I've got a paper share of is the July online exclusives. I've got 1 share left in this. So this is just the 4. Oh, there's 2 lots of, unless someone wants a Halloween one, I've got 1 extra one of those. So you get the Halloween paper, a Christmas paper, this very cool sparkly one, and then what I use today. And that is $30. So if you're interested in that, or if someone wants a Halloween one, I'll have to figure out what that is. So let me know if you're wanting to get a variety of papers. The shares are a great way of doing it. And there is a sale coming with papers. If there's a particular one you want, where is the sheet gone? Here. If there's a particular one you want selected, we don't know what yet, selected designer series paper will be on sale. It's for the month, but once it's out of stock, it may not come back in time. So order it sooner rather than later. I don't know what's going to be on, if it's from the current catalogue or online exclusives or whatever, but check it out on the 4th and you'll see what's on sale. And I forgot to show you, this is an image of a sneak peek of what is in the August paper pumpkin kit. Okay, so remember there's shares if you're interested. There is the paper pumpkin 25% off if you're a new subscriber. And there is the sale, designer series paper sale coming next week. So there you go. Right, well, I'm going to swap back to me and finish off. Pretty good, just half an hour there. I'll need to head out the door shortly, get myself organised. So thank you for watching today. Appreciate you being here. It's exciting to have you. I'm just going to move these things out the way. Exciting to have you here. And oh, my hair's sticking up at the side there. There we go. Yeah, appreciate you joining me for my lives. And hope you liked today's card. And remember, if you are interested in that stamp set, it is a product of the month. So maybe when you're buying some of the papers, well, hopefully it's still here in August. When you're placing an order in while stocks last, you can get the July product of the month. Spend $150 and it's only $11. It's amazing value for an awesome stamp set. All right, awesome. Thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe so you know what's coming up. And feel free to join my newsletter as well, because I send tutorials and exclusive information and all sorts of things in that too. So thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy crafting. Bye.